everyone. Donan Cruz here on GSPN, and we've got big news. He's the volleyball coach at Grandview, and we've got an announcement that Guam's Aidan McDonald will be playing college volleyball with you. Congratulations. How did that happen? Tell us all about it.
You know, we kind of been following Aidan for a little bit, and honestly, we're fortunate enough to be able to connect with a few of his former teammates, and obviously our goal was to kind of always follow some of the best and up and coming athletes coming out of Guam, and Aidan was at the top of our list, and you know, we had some strong references from my former coach Mike Rabagu with the national team, and kind of just talking with him. Initially, he was just kind of telling us a lot of things, and said, "Man, this guy's physicality is insane, and I think he could kind of compete at that level." So through that, it just kind of led from one thing to another, and obviously we're in a position to now provide Aidan with an opportunity to pursue college volleyball, and obviously a lot more into it than that, but that's kind of how it all started, man.
So, you know, the big news was, you know, he was being recruited. About 40 to 50 colleges were looking at him, and you win the sweepstakes.
Yeah, you know, I know that Aidan is quite a baseball player, and from my understanding, might have even been his first love. And when I heard that maybe a little bit more of his passion and interest was in volleyball, I felt like we had a good opportunity to kind of chat with him. And we're used to athletes being interest or kind of getting interest from several universities out here in the mainland, and you know, I felt like our connection with Gene and Aidan, in regards to my background and my upbringing in Guam, was I think where we really had an opportunity to connect. And with Eric, obviously Eric Atta being a senior coming into this year, I thought that was also a huge factor in his decision making. So we're super stoked that he decided on coming to Grandview for sure.
So you're out there in Dallas right now, the USA Boys Nationals. Aidan's playing with the Guahan team. Is this the first time you're seeing him live in action?
I mean, in live, yes. You know, the recruiting component has changed a lot with how well you can see video on players now, and kind of almost see them instantaneously. And so thankfully to a lot of you guys' coverage and his club coaches, Steve Pangilinan, I was able to see a lot more than normal. And you know, the hardest part is when you're watching someone play in video and they're sending you tapes. You know, it's always that question of if how fast they're playing in the video is actually translates to some real life play. And since he's been in Dallas, you know, I've gotten several messages from other college coaches saying, "Hey, man, you guys really scored with this kid from Guam. Nice. He's got an arm, he jumps well." And to be able to hear that, I can't say that that's always the feedback you get as a coach. So that in itself was a huge plus. But we're just excited about his potential and what I think he could do here at Grandview.
Nice. And like anything else, it's different when you see it in person. So what is your perspective when you finally saw him play in person?
Man, he's explosive. He gets off the ground quick, and you know, I think he's got an arm that can score the ball. And you know, he's got a lot of learning to do at the same time. You know, I don't want to shy away from that. I think coming to the States and having to adjust to the game that we play, and being surrounded by guys that are playing at the same physicality level as you, forces you to have to adjust and figure out where you need to get better. And you know, those are things that for every player, no matter high potential or not, we're always talking to guys about, college is a whole nother ball game. And knowing what I think he can accomplish, and I've seen a lot of really good guys come out of Guam, and this is someone that not only has the physicality, man, but this guy's got a complete game that I think we could really develop, and I look forward to him doing some special things.
Man, that's awesome. So talk about the transition. This is not your first rodeo, recruiting someone from Guam, Wyoming, Eric Atta, now Aidan McDonald. What have you learned in the past with the Guam players, with the adapting from the relocation, the weather, the play, that you can help Aidan now with your third or fourth rendition of a Guam player?
I think it's every guy's got his own journey and his own path, but I feel like with Eric and Devin, what I've really learned is that, man, the one thing that I've always connected really well with the Guam guys is that they're willing to work hard and no questions asked, man. The respect level and the dedication to their craft has always been second to none, honestly. And, we just hoping that with Aidan coming in August, that we have a good opportunity to really just work on his craft, man. With Eric Atta, who's been a great guy on our team, and Devin, obviously, too, who did some really good things in the postseason for us, too, a couple years ago, is just continuing to ensure that they understand, hey, man, you're not going to walk into a perfect scenario. You're not going to walk into a place where you're going to be handed, opportunity. You're going to be surrounded by guys that are all come from the same background where they were the top guys in their club or high school. And I think that's always been what has helped us become one of the top teams in the country in our league, is being able to bring in guys that understand and identify and relate to that concept. And I feel like regardless if it was a Guam kid, Hawaii kid, or Brazil kid, these guys know that they got to come and work. And I think, this morning I talked to Aidan on the phone, and I just said, hey, man, like, I know you got to go to SPG in 4 days, and you're going to be coming off of playing 3 matches a day. I said, we weren't even talking about Grandview. We were just talking. I said, hey, man, make sure you take care of your body. It's a whole nother ball game when you're asked to show up and perform at a certain level with very minimal rest, So, so I don't know, man. Overall, we're excited about him, and I don't think any different with Aidan. I just think he's got greater potential than I've seen in past guys, and maybe even greater potential than a lot of guys I've seen even coming out of the States. And I think he's pumped. This morning he was telling me, he's like, man, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. And playing with a guy that I actually grew up with, JP Timinglo, and I think he's pretty excited about this whole SPG thing. And they're doing good stuff in Dallas too, man. It's good.
Good stuff, brother. I appreciate your time this morning, letting us know. And we wish Eric and Aidan the best in Samoa for the Pacific Games, and you for everything you've done, keeping our boys in the loop and taking care of them and taking them to new heights. So appreciate your time, and keep going. This is Donan Cruz, Guam's very own national champion volleyball coach, taking Aidan McDonald to new heights. He'll be playing with Donan at Grandview starting this August. Hey, appreciate your time, brother, and let's hook up when you get back home.
Hey, right on, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it as well.
Okay, take care, man.